may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
It has been the honor of my life to serve you. I won't stop. In fact, I will be right there with you as a citizen.
Was an ex-commando. He killed 16 Chechen rebels single-handed.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
He was with the Interior Ministry. Guy, some kind of Russian Green Beret. This guy cannot come back to tell this story. You understand?
I hear you. Huh?
Call me back.
You're not gonna believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Are you ready?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Monday Morning Middle of the Road. I'm Coach Casey. Joining me all the way across the country, well, really just 2 states down from me, I don't know, somewhere in there. It's TJ from New Mexico. What's up, buddy?
It seems farther away than that.
Well,
Feels farther away.
How long is the drive is it? Like straight, if you drove straight from here to there or come straight home, when you do come straight home?
It's like 800 miles.
Hours-wise, that's like 11?
I guess it depends how much you stop. If you're going like
It's like
70
9
something,
hours,
it's like
10
probably
hours.
like 10
Okay.
hours. Well, the
What?
thing is we're in different time zones too, so.
Okay. Well, I drove 4.5 hours yesterday to go to an event that lasted 3 hours, but that was
Nice.
a round trip. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a taste of what driving's like. I don't do it like you, and I don't like to, but
I'm about
today,
done with it.
I know you are. That we'll get to that if you're ready to discuss it here pretty quick. Today is 8/21. Couple days away from me aging another year. I'm going to try to forget about it by Thursday. Today's sponsor, we'll get to them before I forget. We're I don't know. We're getting listeners from all over. I don't know if this is from a listener or what this is, but I was sent I thought it looked like a flashlight, and I may have to kill the screen for you to see it, but it was a Saber stun gun and flashlight. So I'm glad I read it before I just started playing with it. That was the light, but that's the thing there. So I don't know if that was they think my show's so bad I need protection. If they think we're going to get so big that people are going to be rushing us because they're going to know who we are, we're going to need protection. But thank you, Saber, for support. I don't even know if they're actually sponsoring the show or if just somebody sent me this, but I'm taking it as a sponsor. I don't know if it's the same people that make the printers on The Office. Quality, if so. So
I didn't get mine. It must have got lost in the mail.
Oh, you don't even think it was supposed to be sent to us?
No, I didn't get mine. It must have got lost in the mail.
You ordered it and then it came here. Well, that's fine. It worked out. We didn't have. I did. We had Steve Hernandez, one of our great listeners, had offered to sponsor the show if we couldn't come up one for this week. But I said, save your money. Wait for a couple shows to where it's more expensive to buy our sponsorship. And then
I
would love to have you sponsor our show, Steve. So we appreciate it. We're getting quite a few new listeners, intriguing little emails about what I should do better. I was going to read one of them, but this guy said not to, or he stopped listening. So I'll wait another show, see if I get another email, and then I'll listen. I'll do both of them. So in local news, we've covered it 3 shows in a row, and I think we can put it to bed. I think it's the end of it. The abortion recount is in all but one county, and not enough to overturn it stayed the same. So abortion stays the same as it was since 1950 or whatever it was in Kansas. So we're done with that.
Good. Good. Now everybody can shut up.
Yeah. We'll just leave it away like where it was. You're mad at people that get abortions. You're not mad or whatever. We can just go back to what it was 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Stop rehashing the past. Speaking of rehashing the past, staunch Trump advocate or I don't know what you would call her, Liz Cheney got beat out. So the Trump era is still strong. She ran against election fraud person and huge Trump, backer, and won pretty hands down. So she's
Well,
gonna.
now,
What's that?
I was in Wyoming like a month ago for work. There's
Uh-huh.
no Liz Cheney signs anywhere in Wyoming.
Well, Wyoming is kind of it's like it is, I guess, more technical, closer to a purple state. So you're either in those places, you're either, and if she ran as a Democrat, for whatever office she might try to run, she might get some support. But yeah, she was obviously going to get killed by Republicans in that state. So we're going to get to. I have a little thing on it. The big news in politics right now is that the Trump raid, a judge ruled that they have to unseal the documents. They're allowed to redact certain things that protect people and whatever. So we're going to do a little thing here where basically what I asked TJ was the top 3 reasons the Democrats want to keep the warrant sealed, why they don't want it opened. And I'll start. TJ, did you get 3?
I got it.
All right. I'll start with mine, and then we'll kind of go from there. So my
We're going to go back and forth, or are you going to do 3?
we'll do that. I'll start with my third one, and these aren't really in no particular order, but kind of are, and I do have an honorable mention one. But number 1 on my list is Eric Trump is unknowingly the mole, and he's just started an online blog, and he thinks it's a diary, and he's just spilling everything he knows, just like a Dear Diary. I don't think he's purposely doing it, but they don't want to give up that source, and I think that would be given up in that. So that was my first reason.
Okay. Well, they've got a 4K caught in 4K video of who really killed JFK.
Okay. You think he took that and he was going to hold that ransom? I like that.
Yep.
That's going deeper than mine are.
That's my only one like that.
I know. My number 2 is Trump himself is actually the mole, and he's turned evidence on himself, and they don't want to give that up because he's still giving up evidence. He's trying to avoid himself getting any trouble, so he's taken everybody else out along the way. Was my number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is he had an autographed picture of Michelle Obama with her big black penis.
Oh, and the truth would come out. You would hope she was later. We're not going to do that on this show, but she's going to make my top 3 list of women I want to make love to. So that still weirds me out if she has a wiener. But that tells me, I'm not pansexual. I'm attracted to, maybe a transsexual that is a woman, but only woman in the state.
Isn't pansexual like man and woman?
That's why I said I'm not pansexual. I might be there's a guy I recently watched, I don't even know his name, some YouTube stuff on, and he is a big giant promoter, and he's dating a trans girl, but he had a whole thing where he's like, I'm not gay, I'm not pansexual, I'm only attracted to women. She might be a transsexual, but I only see her as a woman. She's a hot woman, and if she was a man or anything else, I would not be attracted to her. Therefore, I'm not gay. I don't know if that's...
That fits in perfect to something we were talking about at work this week. If you watch a video like off of Mexico's search engine, correct?
Okay.
And you're watching a regular dude, a regular chick, and a chick that is a guy that's becoming a chick, but she looks like a girl from the top half down, but still has a penis. Is that gay?
I don't know. Again, I don't know. Are you... So like me, I watch it for the woman pleasuring the man factor, I guess, or for me pretending I'm the man. So if you're not attracted in this case to the recipient, you're attracted to the giver, or you're watching it for the giver situation, I guess, then I would say no, that's not. It's way off topic of what we're on, but no, I would say.
Well, we were kind of running into it, I don't think it is, but my wife thinks it's weird. So
it is a little. If you purposely search it out and go to watch it multiple times, then I think it starts to cross, or you start to maybe need that, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That topic has been discussed on this show multiple times. Conrad's, that topic has been discussed on those guys from Wichita's show multiple times, never on this show. But Conrad, the host of that show, ventures into that. He got a little accidentally, like you look at one video and then you accidentally scroll to a second, and in his case, like 15 of them, I guess, and then it becomes a search engine for a while.
Yeah.
Then I would
So
say
he got-
that. I would say I
He's
get
into
no,
it.
but if you're attracted to the girl as the girl, not because she was a man, that's hard for me. I don't judge not. I mean, I think if you want a wiener, you're probably into dudes. If you're attracted because the girl was given to do with the wiener and you're picturing yourself as a dude with boobs getting it, then that's not. So I don't know. That's a weird category. Back to our top 3 list, and we'll venture back into this subject. I know you've wanted to talk about this for a long time, so you can clear your conscience on this.
I'm absolved.
But my number one reason why the Democrats do not want the FBI warrants unsealed is because the Russia dossier guy, Christopher Steele, is actually their inside man on this one too, and they don't want it to look like, okay, we're reaching again. So I that's a pull for me. But if you followed all of the original 16 stuff, Christopher Steele was the guy that talked about Trump liked getting PP'd on and all that weird stuff he did in Russia. So they don't.
That
want
kind of goes in with mine a
Okay.
little bit. My last one is there is a sex tape of Trump, Pelosi, and AOC. They don't want that out there.
So do you think in that one, is that back to your thing? Does Pelosi have the wiener or does AOC?
No,
I
no,
know.
just weird shit Trump's into. Like anybody would want
Uh-huh.
to have. I could see him in AOC, but Pelosi.
Oh yeah, but he to get something, like, listen, if you sign this, or I'll sign this if you, whatever. I don't know. Do you think he still is sexually active?
Trump, yeah,
You think so?
he's got big dick energy 24/7, bro.
Really? You think so? You don't think that after?
Dude, his wife
you don't
is
think he
super
ran-
hot.
She is losing it quick. I agree. Especially if you're into like athlete sprinters turned into men. She is beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
She is. She does have some Caitlyn Jenner qualities. If you put the two, next podcast, what I'll do is I'll use your picture as Melania and mine as Caitlyn Jenner, and we'll see if people, think it's the Caitlyn on. No, I'm just playing. I just think she's the worst ever. But again, maybe that's my Trump dislike too. But she was just like the worst first lady. She didn't do nothing. I mean, and none of them do. But at least like Michelle was
You just
pissing
didn't-
everybody off by trying to make kids skinny, and
Yeah,
Hillary
you just didn't
was,
see
was
as much because everybody hated Trump so bad. It was only
yeah,
on
Hillary
him.
was assassinating
no
people
focus.
around the world when she was,
Yeah,
first lady, and building her portfolio, and Barbara Bush was getting people off drugs, and so was Reagan, and they just well, that was it on that. What was your number one reason?
that was it.
Okay,
The sex tape.
the
Sex
sex
tape
There
with
we go.
Pelosi.
So I don't know if any of those will be true. I think they say by like Thursday or Friday they have to get it redacted, and then sometime shortly after that they'll have the new, or the reason out. What was the quintessential? What was there maybe a certain document? There was obviously some classified ones, and I think the biggest thing they don't want to reveal is who their mole is, because I think it's been their mole for a long time, and that was actually my runner-up, was that Melania has been the inside man this whole time, and then she would be the best first lady in history if that were the case. But
Yeah,
I don't think it is, but maybe she is trying to. Maybe she wants to run, and she wants to run against Trump, and the best way to do that's
she's not an American citizen. She can't.
just
wasn't
change the
born here.
rules. Get 50 people. We're getting ready to piss the Democrats off one more time with Biden in office. And he's going to put that whole all you need is 50 votes rule, and they'll change all kinds of shit. And then when you guys
Yeah.
take back power, you guys can change all the shit you want to do. So, staying along that topic, and then I'll get off of it. I don't want it to really be just the Trump bash show. But Mick Mulvaney also turned on him, which was one of his right-hand men for a while, but they did have a falling out toward the end, going along with the tearing up documents stuff that's been all over the news, and said he seen him tear up multiple documents that were things that you would not consider something you would tear up. And then the only other thing I had on that was longtime Trump employee and CEO Alan Weissenberg pled guilty to tax, fraud and all kinds of stuff, and will testify against the Trump company. They didn't say whether he's going to testify against Trump himself or if that's the immunity he's going for or what that is, but it sounds like he's still going to get prison time even for turning. So to me, that would say he's not turning enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if he was giving them everything they wanted, I don't think he would get 0 prison time. So I think we're safe there. The only other thing I had in political news was Pence was back out on the campaign trail in Iowa. He was out running for Iowans, and I don't know if it was necessarily him hinting at a 2024 run. I think that would be the biggest waste of a run probably since Jeb Bush. But there's no way he gets any support. He just too. I mean, they literally were storming the White House to possibly hang his ass. So it would be like Hillary coming out and saying that she's going to go ahead and run one last time and then she's done, So
Yeah.
you had a couple stories. Shit's going to hit the fan. I think we're going to start seeing like people in Ukraine taking out like high-ranking officials because there was an explosion in Russia that killed like the daughter of like a Putin ally. And if you know me, like I know Putin, I think he probably did that himself just to now give him a free pass to go crazy on people. TJ got off there. He's walking away to go find his storybook. He writes his storybook books and then he walks off and leaves.
My maid at my hotel's out there vacuuming. I mean, we're doing a live fucking podcast here.
And you're like, could you please stop? Please stop. I didn't hear it. So luckily you could probably hear it, but we got enough good technology going. I did not hear it. But I got an AC going back here, and we got explosions going off. It's still 4th of July in my neighborhood. So they've been celebrating all day long. You had a news story. What do you have
one,
there?
I have a few, but this is one I'm most excited about, is that sports betting begins September 1st in Kansas. It's going to start out with on the first being where you can place wagers in casinos, the Boot Hill Casino in Ford County near Dodge City, the Kansas Star Casino in Mulvane, the Hollywood Casino at the Kansas Speedway, and that's in Kansas City, and the Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel in Pittsburgh. The announcement represents
just direct do it online with those places, right?
Yeah, you can, but like the other part of it comes at 8, and they're saying this is like the fastest bill to come in effect, like in Kansas in a long time. It's like 60 to 90 days from passing to, actually being in place.
What's crazy is we know, of course, I mean, gambling's already hit here, so you knew there was never going to be a stop or a whatever on it, but how quick they'll push something like that through. But, marijuana is still the devil. It can make more revenue with less effect on people, I think, personally. But again, do you bet much at all? Do you ever online bet?
I'm going to start. I have $27 sitting in my DraftKings account right now that's burning a hole in my ass. Man.
If you're local at all, you've been hearing and I think there's like 6 or 7 states that are all hitting this live about the same time that voted on it, or maybe 3. But if you drive around here locally, any local stations, it's quite a few commercials are talking about it because betting is huge, or sports betting is huge. So
we're supposed to have the online part of it, like through DraftKings and all that stuff by the 8th. And I think there's like 4 or 5 of those that will come on right at first, and then the rest of them probably to follow suit later. So
did you already have a DraftKings account, or did you start it up for this?
No, well, I've had a DraftKings account for fantasy football for a while.
See, I had one. But I hear the commercials. If you start a new one, you can get up to like $100 free once it goes live for starting a new account. So I didn't know if
I
I
don't
could
know.
start a second account and get the $100 free, merge that one, or just bet that $100 like it don't matter, like my bet it
Yeah.
like a Polaroid picture or whatever.
Well, I'm pumped because I'm gonna double that $27 or lose it all in one shot.
Are you gonna reload it after that? Depends how it goes, right?
Yeah, depends how it goes.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
I don't know. I'll definitely play a little bit. I don't know if I'll do a ton. I'll probably bet around the times you already play the things, March Madness. I'll bet on some of that stuff. When I'm in Vegas, I usually will play, and it's usually for somebody I'm going for. I'll make, hey, you're going. Will you play $20 on the Chiefs for me on the Super Bowl or
Yeah.
whatever it is? And so then I'll do something stupid like a long shot on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. Put $20, you can
Yeah.
win $7.5 million. Because actually, I think 20 would probably at this point with where they're set up. I think 20 would turn into like $180 or $280 or something. But
Well, the DraftKings one, you can also do like gambling too. You can play like blackjack and stuff, which that's the easy way to pass the time. If you're any good at it. So
we'll have to maybe with our we are going to talk about that in the next segment. But with the sports stuff, we'll have to start doing some disclaimers for sure. But give maybe some sports tip betting, or what we'll do our picks, and then when we do the picks for them, I'll start pulling the over-unders on them, and we'll give our over-under and that stuff. I don't know if I'll do all the parlays and all that stuff. Maybe if we get real degenerified into this, we'll start covering all that. Maybe we'll have I got a couple buddies that do that stuff like crazy, and my brother being one of them that bet like crazy, and we could probably have them on for a sports betting segment.
that'd be great.
There's in politics right now, we're kind of in that stalemate of or not even really in politics and sports or in everything right now. We're waiting for football to start. There's no major elections happening right now. We're getting ready, for the midterms, but they're still a little bit of ways away. So, the stories are weaker, but this one hits kind of both maps. Like I said, I really, the second show is going to be more sports and entertainment today, but on this one, it hits both things because this has been talked about heavily in the news. But I was looking at just a quick thing on the maps that support Brittany Griner still, or states, a map of states that support Brittany Griner. And it is some, I was just going to do the top 10 list here and then maybe the top couple that don't. But Arizona, South Carolina, Oregon, Massachusetts, Iowa, Illinois, Maryland, Washington, surprisingly Georgia, and which I guess they're starting to turn, obviously, and Colorado are the top 10 states that support her. And then Utah, North Carolina, surprisingly, a bunch of weird states. Oh, so that was the most support. Least support, Kansas, Louisiana, Utah. Sorry, New Mexico, where you're at, actually supports her fairly decently, but
Yeah, I can tell you why.
But mostly it wasn't as clear a picture as I thought. But I knew Kansas was really all I was trying to get to. I didn't really care about the other states. I knew, you walk around here, they don't. I support her. I mean, just as far as I think they're probably over punishing her. I don't really care. I think she should have been smarter and all those things. And this is her punishment, I guess, for not being American enough or whatever. But I think if we didn't have what we had going on with Russia, she wouldn't be in the situation she's in. She also, I would never go fucking play basketball for.
Yeah, I definitely
Russia.
went over there right now. Pretty stupid.
But I guess
Whatever.
money's, that's how he tells you money is scary, or they're in that sport. We talked about it on a show already. LeBron James makes more in a game than they make in a season. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
What you had another news story there too, and then we'll probably switch over, or we'll stop this one so we don't get cut off, and we'll switch over. And I got a whole thing on the UFC. We've got a couple games we're gonna play in the second show. We're gonna play do actors, a list of a certain actor movies. We're gonna do some top 3 athletes turned to actors and a couple things like that. So. What was your other story you had there, buddy?
I got 2 of them. a rugby player has been suspended for the rest of the season after sticking a finger up his opponent's buttholes. Australian rugby player Corey Norman has
That's against the
been
rules.
given.
I don't play rugby, but that's. I guess we'll get
I
to
think-
it. But that apparently sounds like you're not normally supposed to do that.
I think you can do it in soccer, but not in rugby since
I
it's a
did it
little
in football
different.
a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
played football quite a few years, and I was not a good lineman, but I could block pretty good. You know.
Well, apparently so. So Corey Norman has been given an 8-game suspension and fined about $605.
Well, I guess they
Or-
don't make a lot of money. That's like 3 games salary.
Yeah, I guess no, that's 8
They make
games.
less
I
than
don't know.
they make less than the WNBA.
These poor bastards. He's been fined $605 for intentionally placing a hand between the buttocks of an opposing player. The Rugby Football League announced on Wednesday the incident occurred between Norman's and the Warrington Wolves' Oliver Holmes during the 2-game match last Thursday. The 31-year-old Norman, who spent 11 years playing Australia's National Rugby League before joining Toulouse in April, pled not guilty to the offense, but tribunal chair Justice Sarah Wright and the 2 side members, both former players, were entirely satisfied the act was intentional. Holmes complained about the incident during the match and provided a statement to the tribunal.
If I can find a clip of it, I'll try to go find it and splice that in right here of either him, if we can get it, him doing it or him explaining, why. I don't know.
I got it. It's right. It says right here on Barstool, it shows him, it says, why is he smelling it like that? So, yeah, he's suspended and he's out $605. The footage of the incident shows a deliberate movement of Corey Norman's left arm and hand over the top of Oliver Holmes and onto his buttocks. The ruling said at no point does the footage show a grabbing of the shorts to push Oliver Holmes down, as described by Corey Newman.
Listen,
Norman.
he stuck his finger in my butt on purpose. I swear.
I swear,
He
man.
spread him. He spread him. It was 2.
Yeah,
It was 2.
he did this. He did the shocker.
Yeah, he did the scissor me. He scissor me. I don't like a scissor. Yeah. I'm 8 games, $605. That seems like a weird match, but
He's
again,
not even making $100 a game, man.
that's what I say. I wonder.
Well, that wasn't. It was transferred from Euros or whatever that is. So
But is that
Maybe
but
Australia-
That's not like their main league or whatever. Maybe that's like the version of like a D league or the G league or whatever. Those aren't the top dogs.
I don't know what top rugby league is, but if he's only getting fined €500, it's about $605. So
Yeah, that seems low. I don't know. I mean, it seems like I guess if you played like 30 games a week.
Could you imagine if what's that guy, Lance Stevenson, that used to give LeBron shit if he fingered LeBron's butthole during a game, how much money he would have to pay for
I
that?
thought he did. Didn't he do that? Or did he try?
Blew kisses at him, remember? In
When
his
he
face.
he wet willied somebody and he did something else. It was Ron Artest, I think, that people used to give the shocker to people. You'd try to back him down and he'd put his hand in there like you get that wide stance and he'd just take that finger up there and just pop him in the butthole,
Speaking of LeBron, I have a quote from LeBron about playing during the bubble.
Okay.
He said,
I read
without
this. I figured you'd find this.
Yeah, without a doubt, it was the most hostile environment I've ever experienced. It was just so damn quiet, but you could see everything. Those virtual fans on the screens would write all kinds of messages. I remember walking to the free throw line in Game 4 of the finals. I look over to the right, and a fan is holding up a Lapina sign on his webcam. You really couldn't look at those screens.
That was my favorite. You can I think you can tune the yelling out, but and like a fan in the stands, they're not as big. And you looked at, I don't know if you watched any of that bubble basketball.
I did a little bit.
I watched quite a bit of it just because I'm a loser and I watch, especially around finals time, I watch that stuff. And it was kind of intriguing to me, just because it was just athletes, no real home field advantage or whatever you want to call it, just going and playing ball. But man, you could see some of those screens, like I said, they were just huge on there. So I couldn't imagine it. It would be weird, but I got to say it's different than a guy calling you an inner or, cussing you out or saying shit about your kids, or there's just no way. I mean, I could see how that could fuck with you more. You could not focus on it or what, you know what I mean? But that's
WWE
LeBron
did the
being
same
LeBron.
thing.
That's LeBron being LeBron.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, but imagine some of those old school guys play it. Most of those guys would have. I mean, even imagine Jordan in the social media era, or a Parrish, or a Lambeer, or some of the guys we've talked about on the show before. They would have melted in those.
They've been threatened to
eras.
beat. They'd be threatened to beat everybody's asses.
And they would
all
be
the time.
suspended constantly because they would be in trouble because their indiscretions with women and all that shit that people get now in trouble for, would hit surface. So, all right, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back here with another segment. We're gonna reload, go, pee-pees and do all that stuff, and we'll be right back with you guys. Thank you.